Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Talia and this is my first tutorial and my first video on YouTube. In this video, I will be giving you a nice natural makeup look that you can wear whenever you want. It's nice and glowy and natural and I wear it all the time. It's so great. If you guys want to see how I did this look, then make sure you keep watching. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and go in with some primer. The one that I've been using and loving lately is just the classic POREfessionals by Benefit. This stuff is so great if you have large pores. It really fills them in and makes your makeup look so smooth. So I just take a little bit on my finger and put it in the areas that I have large pores, which is typically right around here, my nose, and my forehead. Just so you know, if I'm looking over in this direction, it's because my mirror is right here. When I'm putting on a pore filling primer, I kind of like to pat it almost into my face, like pat and rub, because I feel like when you pat it in, it just really gets in the pores. Does anybody else do that? Alright, now that our skin is prepped and primed and ready to go, we can go ahead and go in with foundation. The foundation that I have been loving lately is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This stuff is no joke. It's only, I want to say, like $13, and it's like 24-hour wear. It's so pretty and glowy and natural. I really love it. I recommend it on just like you could wear it on full coverage days when you're going glam, but it's also perfect for like your natural days, so that's why I really love it. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and put some of this on the back of my hand. And I just like to blend it in with a beauty blender, or you can use whatever sponge you like or whatever brush you like, however you like to apply your foundation. So now that we have blended in our first layer, what I like to do is go ahead and take a little bit more and put it in my problem areas. So if you guys can tell, I have more redness down here, so I like to put on a second layer. And this stuff you can build up really well, so that's also why I like it. Now that we have blended in all of our foundation, the next step is concealer, which is the best part because it covers all your flaws. The concealer that I really love to use is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This stuff just blends out so pretty and it's so natural. It looks so good. So I like to put this in my problem areas, so a little bit on my forehead, down at my cheeks where I have redness, and anywhere else I think I need it. And then I just blend that in with my beauty blender. So I'm gonna go ahead and conceal under my eyes, so I use this same concealer and I just put about that much on. And then since this isn't too much lighter than my skin tone, I use another concealer that's a little bit lighter. It's the NYX HD Studio. This stuff is also really nice and very cheap. And I put it in the inner corner of my eye because it's so much brighter. And then you just need a little bit there. And then when you blend it out, it's really gonna brighten under your eyes and look really pretty. Like, look how nice that blended out. That looks so, so good. I love it. I really think drugstore concealer and foundation has just been so good lately, and it's so affordable. Like, it's so great. Now that I put the concealer under my eyes, the next thing I like to do is go ahead and set that with some powder. Lately, I've been using the Peach Perfect by Too Faced. This stuff looks really, really nice, and it smells so, so good. So I really love it. And all I do is I just set under my eyes. I just think on a natural day, you don't really need to set your whole face. Sometimes it can get a little cakey, so I like just putting it under my eyes. But if you have more oily skin, you might want to set the rest of your face. If not, then I think you're good with just going under your eyes. The brush that I like to use for my powder is just a Sephora brush like this one. This is actually for blush, but I really like it for setting under my eyes. So I just dip into my product, tap off the excess, and then I just take that and set under my eye. And you really don't need too much. Just want to make sure that it's set. And then the same for the other side. I like to go ahead and do my eyebrows next because it gives my face some time to set since I don't set it with powder. So I want to make sure that before I go ahead and go in with bronzer and everything, the foundation is all set and not tacky anymore. If you guys ever want to see how I do my brows or anything, I can dedicate a whole video to that because it'll just take too long to do it right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now we are back with full brows and looking like a nice, decent human being. We can go ahead and finish the rest of our face makeup. So I like to go in with bronzer next to just warm up my face. The bronzer that I've been really loving lately is the Marc Jacobs Tantastic. I also really love using the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I like to switch off between these two because they're both so pretty. The brush that I'm actually going to be using is the brush that goes with the Hoola bronzer. It's by Benefit. This is my favorite bronzing brush. It just like blends in your bronzer or contour so evenly and pretty, so I really love it. I'm just going to go ahead and dip my brush into the bronzer and then make sure to tap off the excess because you don't want to put too much on your face. We've all been there. And then just start to blend it in our cheeks. I start off with a really light hand because I don't want to put too much on and look kind of orange or just look really weird. And then I start to bring it up around my face, and eventually I'll bring it all the way up to my forehead. This just brings so much life back into your face. I love it so much. It looks so pretty and bronzed. And then we can go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. And then what I do next is just take a little bit more bronzer and I take it down on my jawline. I don't put too much here. I think it can look kind of weird if you put too much, but I do just like a little bit there to kind of carve out your jaw. Nothing too crazy. And then I just kind of buff in the excess down my neck. And then finally with our bronzer, I go ahead and get a smaller brush like so, and I contour my nose a little bit. It's not really contouring, but I just like to bronze it up a little bit, and I think it just makes it look a whole lot nicer. So I just take a little bit on my brush and then go down my nose on each side. You don't want to put too much on because sometimes it can look really weird if you put on a little too much, so make sure you are being cautious with it. That is it for the bronzer. We can go ahead and move on to blush. Pretty much the only blush that I use is by Milani, and it's called Berry Amore. It's so old that the stuff on the top of the container actually has worn off, but it's so pretty. It's a nice berry color with some flecks of gold in it, and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. And I just go ahead and take an angled blush brush. This one's by Sephora. Dip in and tap off the excess, and then go ahead and blend it in. I start with the apples of my cheeks, and then I just blend it back a little bit. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then what I do next actually is I go back to my beauty blender that I used before, and I just kind of blend in the blush a little bit, and I just think it makes it look more natural. Just like that. The next thing that I like to do is go ahead and go in with pretty much a finishing powder. It's just a lightening powder that has a little bit of glitter in it, just a little bit of sparkle, and it brings so much glow to your face and looks so pretty and natural. It's by Hourglass. It's the Ambient Lighting palette, and you can see it has 3 different shades in here, and they're just a little sparkly. It's super pretty. And what I do is I take a big fluffy brush like so, and I go into all the colors and then make sure to tap a bunch of the excess off, and I actually wipe it on the back of my hand, and then I go ahead and just lightly put it all over my face. Like I said, I'm really not putting that much on. You don't want to put too much on, or you're gonna look like you put highlighter all over your face. Just a little bit gives you such a nice natural glow, and I just love the way it looks. And then I take it down my neck as well. And then if you want to add more, you can. I like just that little bit. I think it looks so good and so glowy. And now it's time for highlight. The highlight that I use on my natural days is by Laura Mercier, and it's just literally called Highlight Number 1. Looks like this. And when you put it on, it's so natural and pretty. It's not too glittery or anything. It's just a nice natural highlight for a natural makeup look. The way that I've been applying this actually is with a beauty blender instead of a brush. I found out this tip from watching a Jaclyn Hill video, and it just, since I started doing it, my highlight has looked so flawless and smooth, so I really recommend trying it. This is the same beauty blender that I've been using. I haven't cleaned it or anything, and you just dip it in to the highlight, and then what I like to do is just tap it on the back of my hand a little bit so I don't get too much on here, and then you just blend it in on your face where you want your highlight. So just like that. And I think it looks so good. I normally put on like 2 or 3 coats because your girl likes a really good highlight. And if you can tell, like, it just looks so smooth and natural. It looks so good. I'm so happy that I started doing it with a beauty blender. And I'm gonna do the same on the other side of my face. I take a little bit more on my beauty blender, and then I go ahead and I highlight above both my brows just a little bit. I don't like putting too much there because you can just look overly sparkly, but just a little bit brings some more light to your forehead. And then whatever is left on the beauty blender, I put down on my chin. And then with my finger, I go ahead and go into it and I do my nose. So I take it down the bridge of my nose, and then I'll put it on the tip of my nose. Just make sure you blend it in. So cute. And then I will just do my Cupid's bow as well. Just like that. And now you are nice and pretty and highlighted and such a natural, pretty glow. I love it so much. I'm obsessed. And now the final thing for this makeup look is just adding some mascara. So I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes a little bit. The mascara that I've been using lately is the Voluminous Butterfly by L'Oreal. This stuff is really nice and it doesn't get really clumpy, which I love. I really hate it when my lashes look all gross and clumpy. It's just not my kind of look. So this stuff is really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it to both eyes. Now I'm going to apply one more coat on each eye and then we'll be almost done. Now the final step to this makeup look is just putting on a setting spray. A nice affordable one that I like to use is the NYX Dewy Finish. This stuff works so well. I only have a tiny bit left, so I'm going to have to get a new one soon. I'm just going to go ahead and spray this all over my face. Just fan it in, and then I actually like to take my beauty blender and tap it into my skin. And that is it for the look. I hope you guys really like it. It's super natural, like I said, super glowy, and I just really love it. If you guys love it too, make sure to give my video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I would appreciate it so much. I plan on posting a lot more videos in the future, so stay tuned for those. Bye guys!